Yeah, it's nice to see you too. Okay.
If someone can get after me, I just
We're having too much fun.
What does this say? Have a great what?
Oh, you got one.
One. Oh. It's like have a great knee. I'm like, have a great knee.
Chris is sitting there.
I'll do one skip, so if
I know my handwriting isn't good. Hey, how are you?
Maybe somebody else.
All right, so anyway, we're talking boomer effects. We're talking about
Thanks a lot. We decided
Hi.
Good.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living of Greater Dayton. We welcome you. We're the Higher Mind Band, or a piece of it this morning. The whole band will be in next week. We're going to start off with a song called You Are. It's a wonderful song. I wrote it. So stand up and help us sing. Actually, Kathy wrote the lyrics, so I put music to it. It's a Rice family band. So here we go. Are you ready, Jimmy? Yeah, I'm ready.
You are beautiful, courageous, and wise beyond your ages. This I know for you, as I know myself. You are splendid, you're unique, with the whole world at your feet. This I know for you, as I know myself. You are brother to the flowers, and sister to the trees. This I know for you, as I know myself. And all life is within you. You are one with God, it's true. This I know for you, as I know myself. This I know for you, as I know myself. This I know for you, as I know
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam. Couldn't resist. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Dayton. So glad you made the choice to join us and be a part of our community today. Let's all read our vision, mission, and purpose together. Here, our vision. We are one with all expressions of life. We are always evolving as we live in harmony with Spirit as our source. We respond to the internal call to know the expansiveness of who we truly are, one with the divine in all life. We feel it, we believe it, we live it, and we share it. Our mission, the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Dayton, works to meet the physical and spiritual needs of the community through offering education and experiences aligned with the teachings of Science of Mind, sponsoring community-based activities, and engaging in sacred activism within our local community. And our purpose, the Center for Spiritual Living in Dayton, is a community offering compassion and support as we learn to love regardless of conditions. We each come from many faith backgrounds excellence, and through the teachings of science of mind and spirit, we learn, grow, and heal. As we discover our higher power within, we manifest our best lives and create a world that works for everyone. Thank you. And now, I'd like to invite Lionel here for our announcements.
Here we go. I'll just read it up here. Good morning, by the way. Everybody's doing okay? Yay, okay. So please collect pull tabs from your canned beverages. Mine is filling up. We'll be donating those to the Ronald McDonald House, where they'll be recycled and the money will go into the general fund to pay utilities and supplies. Please see Andy Goodman. There she is. She's raised her hands behind her. For more information, there you go. Collection of non-perishable food items as well as paper products such as paper towels, toilet paper, diapers can be put in the tub under the coat rack. The donations be added to the Greenmont Oak Park Church Food Pantry. See Sarah for that. I know I brought in a bunch of school supplies. Yeah. Diamonds are a soul's best friend. Oh, that's next week, I think. Next Sunday, yes. Okay. Create Sunday, August 18th, 2024, 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. That's pretty much right after service. Create a beautiful diamond dots picture from a pre-printed art piece. That's awesome. By pasting diamonds in the color-coded area, the relaxing exercise while creating art. All the tools are provided in the kit. It's $30. It's here at the center. And Sherry, where is she? She's not here?
She's probably in the back.
And she's in the back. What? Okay, so she's there. That's next week. Okay, so Saturday, Ghostly Gobble and Get Together. Okay. Saturday, September 7th, 2024, 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. A white-themed meal followed by the movie Ghost. I'm trying to imagine this white-themed meal. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Foods to be served. Oh, white chili, angel hair pasta, Alfredo, white bread, white apple salad, white apple tort, and white grape juice. There you go. $35. It's here at the center. That's Carl and Jean. They're not here today. I don't know if they're here today.
They're here.
They may be helping in the
Oh.
social hall.
Okay, they're in social hall. Weekly meditation. This is with Teresa. Wednesdays, 7 to 8, in person only. Morning meditation with Andy. This is on Zoom only. That's Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. Science of Mind 101 in person and Zoom, 9:30 a.m. every Sunday here at the center. And that's you and Marge, you said is still, she chimes in for that?
No,
She does not.
No, she's not doing that anymore.
Oh, she's just,
The only
she
thing
holds
she does
vigil.
now is hold vigil for the service.
For
She
the
watches
service
on
at her
Facebook
home.
and-
Okay. I don't know. She's in her early 90s. I
Yes,
mean,
she is. She's in
she's
it.
amazing. All right. Is there anything? Okay, here we go. What? Okay. Yay. August, beautiful birthday. Flowers. Yay. CLGBT friends with August birthdays. Noah Chris Cooper. Yay. Happy birthday. It already happened. It already happened. Happy birthday. Teresa Napke. Yay for you.
Today.
Yay.
Wow.
And happy birthday. And Nick Gambino, yay. This is my Nick. There you go, Joe Parker. Yay. If your birthday isn't on this list, please let us know. We'd love to celebrate you. And I think, is it you they contact Kathy or who?
Yeah, they can contact me.
Yeah, because she's the one who seems to be. So if you're not on there, we want to put you on there. Okay. Anything?
I'm sorry, I skipped the slide. I don't have a slide.
No, okay.
It's the social hall, it's birthday lunch.
Oh, it's a birthday lunch. Okay, so that's after, there's a potluck
Yeah,
after
this is
service.
Potluck and
Oh.
birthday Sunday.
Oh, nice, okay. I forgot about that, sorry. I did cook something for him. I guess just for whatever, but that'll be good, yay. Okay, that'll be good. All right, I think that's it. Is it you guys now? Okay. Yes, okay. We have a different flow here, so we're trying to get used to this, sorry. All right, go ahead.
All right, it's time for a song. We're going to do a centering song this time. This is a song by Jack Fowler, who is a tremendous singer. It's called In the Silence. So I don't want you to actually stand up for this. You're going to have to read the words because it's probably been a while. But just stay seated. And I am standing up. So here we go. Linda, Reverend Linda will remember this. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there is release. From a world filled with chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be heard. And right here in this holy silence, I find God. I find myself. We'll do it again. Here we go. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there is release. From a world filled with chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God. I find myself.
And now we begin our celebration service. Please join me in prayer. And centered in this wonderful moment of love, this sacred moment. I'm knowing centered right here in the knowledge that love is here. There is only one mind, one thought, one power, one source, one love. We are one. All power, all love, all truth is here right now with us, as us. And as we're centered in this blessing, this love, I know that each and every one of us is uplifted and blessed. Whether you're here physically or online, there is a pure, beautiful blessing of love flowing through each and every one of us. I'm knowing that Reverend Linda is also uplifted and divinely supported, and that wisdom of the divine speaks in and through and as her. I know all is well, all is perfect, and all is truly in divine right order. And so I let it be. And so it is. We light this candle, for we know that we are loved. Our reading today comes from Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. There is no fear in love, and there is no liberation from fear without love. Fear is based on the supposition that we are unprotected, rejected, and friendless. If the fearful mind would entertain love and harmony and peace that would go with it, it must turn from everything that denies this love, and trusting in divine guidance, open its being to the influx of love. Not just love of God, but love of everything. Or love is all-inclusive. Now I'd like to invite Reverend Linda Ketchum up.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
It is a beautiful morning. My thermometer said it was 52 degrees this morning. Wow, what happened this summer? I have a feeling it'll be back with vengeance later on this week. I did a wedding yesterday. Did a very beautiful wedding for a very beautiful couple. It was quite interesting. Of about the 85 people there, I was probably one of 5 people whose first language was English. It is the first wedding I have ever done with an interpreter. And I don't do foreign languages. It's debatable sometimes whether I speak English. But one of the most interesting things is I actually had an interpreter, a very nice young man named John. And we're standing up there as the bridal party comes up, and he says, I think we're going to have to share mics because mine is not working. Absolutely perfectly, because I would read a paragraph or two, and then he would say it in Spanish, and then, so it was a perfect flow. In fact, when it was over, the groom said, it went smoother than I ever imagined it would. But the kink in the whole thing, for want of a better word, was when it was time for the bride to come in. It wasn't happening. And I thought, well, since she cried yesterday on the way down the aisle because she was so happy she was getting married, I don't think it's the bride. And her son, who was about this tall, but I think he was taller than he was old, because I would think he was closer to about 5 years old. He was the ring bearer, and he was not at all interested in walking down the aisle. And I am really good at making stuff up, but I may be making this up. But I found out the day before that he was actually a twin, and he had lost his twin permanently within the last year. And I would bet that brother was supposed to be walking down that aisle with him, at least in his mind. And he wasn't. So he was experiencing, and he seemed to be fine with the groom, but he was less happy than a lot of kids of that age at a wedding rehearsal. And let me tell you, I have never seen a kid of that age that was happy to be at a wedding rehearsal. They were almost as unhappy as a lot of the men that were there. But it was interesting. What I'm speaking on today is trauma. And several of you in here are visit my personal Facebook page, and know that I have had, and my family has had, more than share of personal trauma in the last 3 weeks for sure. This is the first Sunday in 3 weeks that I have not had a text that my grandson might be going back to surgery. He, as I talked about last time I was here, he was diagnosed with oral cancer. And the last full week of July, on a Tuesday, he had surgery where they went in and removed half of his tongue and rebuilt it with the muscles out of his bicep, stripped his lymph nodes in his neck and his throat, put in a feeding tube and a trach, and he cannot talk. He did amazingly well. And then the Sunday, 2 Sundays ago, I get a text. I think his tongue died. And he had to go through the surgery again. Another 7 hours. To be told at the end of it that the reason it happened was medical mistake and medical non-communication. And he can't, and now this young man is 33, but he functions at about the age of a 5-year-old. So he was supposed to go home that Monday, and he had to start all over again. He came out of the second surgery in a splint that he has to wear for 2 months, as well as a skin graft. Now, what was keeping him sane was his iPad, his iPhone, and his Nintendo Switch, which now he has no way to hold and can only use it with one hand. My daughter was brilliant. After standing in front of his chair holding his iPhone like this for about 2 hours, she thought, I can't do this for 6 days. So she bought him a flexible selfie stick that actually bent, and what caused his tongue to die was him holding his neck in the wrong way, and it cut the blood flow off to his tongue. So he couldn't move. He had to keep his face fairly straight ahead and couldn't tilt to the side. And he also had a way where he could use it with just one hand. So he was pretty good again. And then last Sunday, I get one that they called the surgeon in because there's saliva in his drain tubes, which there wasn't supposed to be. They have found that there is a hole in his throat, there's a hole between his throat and his mouth, that if it doesn't heal itself, he's going to have to go back to surgery again. So know with me that it heals perfectly. He did get to go home Tuesday. And he's doing well, and my daughter is doing a whole lot better. After the surgeon told her that the second surgery should never have happened, my other daughter said she was literally laying on the floor screaming at the top of her lungs. Because she had been with him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If she had been told, it would have never happened. The definition of trauma is something that happens that you have no control over.
Yeah, that's right.
And it happens to us in many different ways. But what we're going to look at today is, the main title of this is actually Living Life No Matter What, and the subtitle is When Your Life Looks Like It's Going to Dog Doo-Doo All the Way Around You. And what I thought, what I was dealing with, and what I was struggling with through all this is living in principle. I could see and know that God was there, that God was in every step of it. I mean, he had this particular surgery his surgeon had a 97% success rate with. Needless to say, the doctor was not any happier than Jill was. And other doctors who do the same surgery in the same hospital have a 60% success rate. He had a great surgeon and a great oncologist. And he had pretty good care for the most part. But I know that God was working for and through all this. And when we look at what our principles are, what our main principles are, to me, our number one principle is that it's all God. And it is my job to know and see God in every moment. And I do that. And I will admit there may have been one or two conversations with God that were held screaming and saying, this is not fair. But God can hear me. And God loves me no matter what. And I know and believe that all people are infinitely good. I do not believe that anybody did anything intentionally. I think it was poor communication and things just going differently than they should have. I have no way of knowing if something even more traumatic would not have happened later if this did not happen when it did. The third one is thoughts are creative power. This is the one that I really spend a lot of time thinking about, working on, and doing. Thoughts are creative. Thoughts are creative. How I believe, how I think, what I think in my heart and my mind, I create. So being in fear, being absolutely terrified of what was going on, put me in a position to continue to create more of what was going on. Charles Fillmore in Living Word defines fear. Painful emotion marked by alarm, dread, and disquiet. He said that's from Webster. Then he goes on to say, fear is one of the most subtle and destructive errors that the carnal mind can experience. Fear is a paralyzer of mental action. It weakens both the mind and body. Fear throws dust in our eyes and hides the mighty spiritual forces that are always within us. Blessed are those who deny ignorance and fear and affirm the presence and power of Spirit. When I am called on to pray and know the truth, or anyone in this room or anywhere, I know it, I can do it, and I experience it. You throw in my kids, my grandkids, or my great-grandkids, and I become mama first. And I don't always get to the spiritual truth. I spoke last Sunday in Unity. And I kept saying, don't check on Alec, don't check on Alec, don't check on Alec. This was after already listening to 3 tapes by Ernest Holmes and more prayer work than I usually do in a week on a sermon. And I checked on Alec and found out that they had called the surgeon in again. I was not in good shape when I spoke last Sunday. But I spoke from the heart. And I spoke the truth. And I know how powerful my words are. I know how powerful my thoughts are. We say thoughts are things. And when we go down the wrong path, and not the path we want to, we create a situation where we're creating what we no longer want. I knew that. I could feel it. And I was fighting within myself to move beyond that. To see and know and always know that it is all God and all good. And the Science of Mind textbook, the end of chapter 14 says, disease accordingly is a fact, but not a truth. It is not an internal variance. It It was a fact in human experience for ages that people could not broadcast over the radio, but it was not a truth. They just didn't know how. It was not a divine reality because they know how to manufacture a radio and talk over it now. Of course, this was written probably in 1935. So we must try to see and sense that always back of the appearance, perfection is. Holmes also says, we must admit the fact. It is quite a different thing to admit it's, no, that's not what I want to read. I can't find the sentence I want. He says that we don't tell people who are in pain that pain does not exist. And not too many years ago, we as a denomination, especially among our ministers, did do that. Some of you remember Reverend Eunice. And some of you remember her extreme health challenge. And some of you may remember her saying that she had ministers actually say to her, and what in your consciousness brought this on? That is creating trauma. That is not taking care of anyone. That is creating situations where people forget and know that they are not in a loving community. We read your vision and mission statement when we started. And we talked about being a loving, supportive community. When we say things like that, when we think things like that, we are not supporting anyone, including ourselves. Because we are creating a separation between our consciousness and God. We are creating a separation between the perfection that is God. Another thing I thought of when I was doing this, and I've heard this somewhere, but it wasn't from Michael Beckwith, so it's hearsay, but I'm pretty sure it's true. The main reason Michael Beckwith started Agape was the powers that be within this denomination in the 50s and 60s did not think we were ready for a black senior minister. Who is probably one of the most powerful ministers in the New Thought movement. But we, even within our own denomination, within our own centers, we do not take care of each other sometimes. Because it's not the way it's always been. And when we think about trauma, people walk through these doors. Most of the people, well, let me say this one. When I walked through these doors, I was not a spiritually healthy person. I came here to find what I needed, to find what it was that was missing in my relationship with God, in my relationship with Spirit. And I think many of us have walked in here in that same position. And we need to be greeted with love. We needed to be greeted with compassion. We need to be greeted with understanding. And fortunately, I was. I remember the first time I was here, I was sitting in a row with about 25 people. One of them was Carl. And the minister asked me, he said, "And how did you get here?" And I just kind of turned and looked down the row, and I said, "All of these people. And they are what brought me there. They are what showed me this door. And they were the ones that supported me and loved me through it. They are the ones that helped me to get beyond fear and judgment, to be a better person and a better experience. So that I can look at these principles that I'm talking about today and know that my thoughts are creative. and they are my responsibility. There was years ago, several people went to Silmar, and when they came back with this pamphlet. And the pamphlet said, and I quoted exactly, "I'm on the path. Oh shit, I'm on the path." And the thing is, as we learn these principles and we live these principles, we are on the path. And when we are on the path, there are greater expectations of how we live. There are greater expectations of how we react. During this 3 weeks with Alec in the hospital and everything else, on a Sunday that he had the second surgery, I had a wedding. For some reason, I maybe do 10 weddings this year, and I have 5 of them between the last Saturday in July and the first Sunday in September. So I've already done 3 of them. But the one I did that Sunday while Alec was in surgery, I had packed my stuff up and I was going to go to Indianapolis. Unfortunately, the wedding was just in Troy, and it was at the Troy Library, and it was like 6 miles from my house, max. And I look in my rearview mirror, and there are red flashing lights behind me. And I thought, oh wow. And so I pull up over in this parking lot, and this little sheriff comes up to me, and I says, "What did I do wrong?" He said, "You ran a red light." And he said, "I'm not going to give you a ticket, but you ran a red light." And I said, "Well, you just answered the question. I have no business driving this. I'm not to Indianapolis today. I am not to do it." And I even shared with him what was going on. And I said, "And if you pray, it would be wonderful for you to pray." And he said, "I do pray, and I will before I leave this parking lot." And then I did something equally stupid on the way home, and I knew I couldn't drive to Indianapolis that day. But God took care of me. Because I got real clear, fortunately, safe signs that I had no business doing what I was thinking about. That I had to take care of me. And it took me 3 days to get to the point where I knew it was okay to drive to Indianapolis. Because I was a mess. But we know it's all God. We believe people are good. And we know our thoughts are creative. And we know the power of prayer. We know the power of prayer and keeping our meditations and our prayer in alignment with what we believe. We know the power of letting God have it. I have shared before, one of my greatest tools is saying, "This is yours, God." I added a sentence to it in the last month. "This is yours, God, and help me remember I turned it over." Because if I say, "This is yours, God," and 2.5 minutes later, or 2.5 hours later, I am obsessing about the same thing, I did not turn it over. I am still trying to fix it. And I can't. That's the thing about trauma. That's the thing about so many events in our lives. We can't fix it, especially when it's our children or our friends or the political situation in this country. But we just, some things we just have to turn it over and let it go and say, "This is yours, God. And I give it to you, and help me remember that I did." And the last one of these is we don't only need to know principle, we have to live principle. And to live principle, we do the prayer work. We do the turning it over. We make an effort to see God in every situation and know that God is there. Sometimes it takes an effort. Most of the time, you can look at the sky outside in a beautiful day that we're having, and you have no problem knowing God is in that beautiful sunrise or that beautiful sunset or the looking across the ocean. But when you're in the middle of a trauma, when you're in the middle of a mental health challenge or a physical challenge, or one of the brides that I follow occasionally on Facebook found out at the end of the day Friday that her company had been bought out and she was no longer needed after 5 years, and she's pretty young, so that had been most of her career. That's trauma. That's, you feel rejected, you feel resentful, you feel like you have been betrayed. That's the word I was looking for. Betrayal. Betrayal is there. And we, as practicing religious scientists, have to find a way to let it go. We have to find a way to move forward and continue to know that God is all there is, to know that there is good in this earth, and to live it and believe it. That thought that just went through my head was really good, but y'all will never get it because it left. You have to learn to let go of those too. But, I know what it was. One of the things that I have gotten out of this experience is, many of you know that I am supposedly writing a book on forgiveness that I haven't looked at in 2 years. I realized that I need to add either a full chapter or a half a chapter on mother's guilt. Fathers probably have guilt too, but I am much more aware of mother's guilt. And the mother's guilt, number one, that many of us grew up with, as our mother's guilt was passed on to us, as how we deal with it and maybe pass it on to our own children. But we have to do the work around letting it go. We have to forgive ourselves first. Because nowhere does it say we have to be perfect. No matter what your mother told you. But it's things like that when we really practice these principles, and when we are aware enough to know that we're not living principles, that what we are feeling and what we are experiencing is about as far from where we want to be as we can get, we have to be willing to do the tough work to get back to where we need to be. I mean, there's some amazing meditations online. If you're in a place where you need some help and there's no one around, or you don't want to call anybody, and our practitioners here are amazing at helping you with that. But if you're at a place where you're just so shut down that you know you need to do something, go to YouTube and do a search. There's probably a meditation just written for whatever you're going through. And they're usually very good. And they will have some beautiful music with you. And as we know, we are very grateful for the beautiful music we have here. But music is healing. It puts a vibrational level within us that allows us to move on to something else, to let go of whatever it is and truly say, this is yours, God, and mean it. So something as simple as listening to beautiful music. My favorite is actually Indian flute, American Indian flute music is something that opens my heart every time I hear it. I do cardio drumming once a week, That's also pretty good to beat the heck out of the drum. It helps not only my cardio, but it helps my mental attitude sometimes too. There are many different things we can do. Prayer is the best. Sometimes we're not there. Sometimes we need to do something physical, like take a walk or beat on a drum or scream and yell. God's big enough to take your anger. And it's okay. We do not believe that God judges us. We believe we judge ourselves. So if we can let go of our self-judgment, we have enabled ourselves to move on to do the other things that I mentioned today, to know that it's all God, to know that humans and other creatures are all basically good, that our thoughts are powerful and creative, and that they determine our experiences. That's probably my least favorite tenet, because I know that I'm responsible for the life I live. And the thing is, crap happens. It's how I react to it and how I let it influence the rest of my life that is the issue. Prayer and meditation, as I said, keeps us aligned with the oneness, helps us remember, as Holmes said, behind everything is perfection. There is perfect health, and it is our health. There is perfect breathing, and it is ours. There is perfection in every single moment, and it is ours to see and remember. And the last one is to truly understand principle and live it. One of my favorite questions from Ernest Holmes, and I've attempted to do a sermon on it and never had. If you were accused of being a religious scientist, would there be enough evidence to convict you? I'm working on it. I do pretty good most of the time, but I'm working on it. I am a work in progress. We are all works in progress. And I invite you to continue joining each other and me on this journey to a greater understanding and a greater spiritual experience in every element of our life, no matter what is going on. Join me in prayer. Mother, Father God, infinite Spirit, the love, the light, the joy, the peace, the perfection of the universe, that allness, that wholeness, that oneness that is God, in this moment, in every moment, that flows through and as every fiber, every cell, every tissue of my being and every being on this planet and beyond is God expressing perfectly. I know that I am a divine expression of God, that every fiber, every cell, every tissue of my being, from the top of my head to the tip of my toes, is God expressing Linda absolutely perfectly. And as I know this is true for me, I know this is true for each one of you and every being on this planet. We are a divine expression of God. God's love is our love. God's health is our health. God's wisdom is our wisdom. God's clarity is our clarity. God's truth is our truth. And I know for each one of us that we move beyond the facts that we live with. The facts of health, the facts of wholeness, the facts of politics, to the reality that it is all God. And we know that facts change. Reality remains the same. And the reality is God is working for us and through us at this moment and every moment. We embody it. We accept it. We are it. And knowing it is so, and knowing it is done. In gratitude and thanksgiving, I say thank you, God, and so it is.
A song continuing on that same subject matter. This is a song called Our Thoughts Are Prayers.
Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Sing it again with me.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
One more time.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. Every thought becomes a prayer.
Thank you, Kenny, for some songs today that I haven't sung in a very long time, and have always thought they are very special words to remember. And they're probably on YouTube too. If somebody probably has sung them or put them on it. And sometimes we need that reminder. And it is now time for our conscious giving. As you know, number one, I want to thank those on Facebook for being here. And if you would like to donate, there is a donate button on the Facebook page. You can also mail a check here to Benfield Drive. And you can also use the text link as well as the website. That's the word, website. I would say that's a senior moment, but I've been having those since I was a teenager. It always irritates me when people talk about senior moments because most of us have had them our entire life. Please stay our, is the giving safe up there? All right, please repeat after me. Abundance is mine.
Abundance is mine.
I cannot be deprived of my supply.
I cannot be deprived of my supply.
The trees do not lack for leaves,
The trees do not lack for leaves,
nor do flowers fail to bloom.
nor do the flowers fail to bloom.
I embrace my supply. And celebrate the abundance that is mine.
Celebrate the abundance that is mine.
There you go.
And we say thank you, God. We thank you for the abundance of the universe that is here in this offering basket, that is received electronically, that is so blessed that we know that the givers as well as the receivers are blessed. We bless not only each giver today, but each receiver, for those who supply the goods and services that are needed for this community. We give thanks for the abundance of the universe, knowing that this offering returns 10 times over to every individual, to every belief, and to that oneness that is God, that is Spirit. And in this abundance, we say thank you, God, as we lovingly release these words to Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
Was it me? Yeah. What? No, I think it is you. I think it is you.
Sorry about that.
Aren't you planning to stay?
I am glad I stayed. I wasn't going anywhere. All right. Sorry, if it's your first time joining us online or in person, welcome. We are happy you're all here with us today. Please visit our website at www.cslgd.org, and if in person, pick up a welcome packet as you first come in. Thank you for joining us this morning. If you would like prayer, please reach out to one of us, the practitioner core, Andy, Linda, myself. And we're here to support you, absolutely. If you need a longer, sessions, please reach out to us. I think you guys have our phone numbers. If not, just come to us. We'll schedule something with you, whatever. It could be a love donation, it could be whatever. It doesn't matter. We want to be here to support you. All right, moving along. Here's our affirmation. There. Okay, so let's just, I'll read it. Just repeat after me, okay? Divine love through me.
Divine love through me.
Forgives and releases.
Forgives and releases.
All bitterness and judgment.
All bitterness and judgment.
As faith dissolves all.
As faith dissolves all.
Fear and restores my peace of mind.
Fear and restores my peace of mind.
All right. Yay. Have a great week. Here we go. We're at the end.
Have a reason to go. Stand up. Here we go.
And I let go.